Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this residential application. Let's go first into the overall dimensions that I have. So overall dimensions are 39.6 by 12 feet, this distance here. And then we have a height here of 8 feet. They said that the slope of the ceiling is going to be 12 to 2, and so I have this about 10 feet off the finished floor. There are a couple of fans in this location, but we're going to kind of focus on this one here. I have this at a 5-foot diameter, and then I just also want to mention that there's going to be just the seating area here in blue, and that's a 16 by 12 foot area. So that's the place that we're going to focus on. And let's go ahead and turn the dimensions off. There's going to be two different applications we can do with the fan at the 5-foot diameter. And I have that placed, I think, let's see if I have the distance on here already. I have that placed. Let me put that on here. I thought I had it, but let's double check that. So the center of the fan is going to be roughly about here. And we'll go to this edge here, and so distance that we have, let's see if we can get that. We'll go this direction here, 6 feet into the center from the outer edge. And yeah, let's go ahead and turn that off now. And they had asked for specifically gas heaters, and so I'm going to show two different options. This first option is going to be placing a heater on the inside and outer edge here and here. This unit here is going to be an S25, so 25,000 BTU heater, and then this one here will be an S34, 34,000 BTU unit. I have this at 30 degrees off of the wall, so straight down, 30 degrees up, and this one here is pointed straight down. The reason why I have that straight down is because of the fact that the clearance above the heater has to be a minimum of 9 inches on an S25 and 14 inches on an S34. So this is an S25. I have 9 inches from this point to the ceiling. And then also you can see how I manipulated the brackets. So there's a bolt that would go here, a bolt that would go, sorry about that, right around here, and then you'd have to drill a new hole into the wall mount here. This hole here would have to line up with the angle that you're going to be looking at to maintain that 9-inch of clearance above the heater. And also with that bracket you need to maintain 12 inches of clearance from this edge to this edge, and then also 12 inches from any combustible material, that fan being a possible combustible if those blades are a combustible material. This one here, this is S34 again, and when you have it at an angle, you have the exhaust that flows out of this direction here, and you need to maintain a 17-inch clearance from the top of the heater to any combustible above. And then because it's at a 30-degree tilt, you only need 8 inches of clearance from this edge here to the wall itself. Let's go ahead and look at the footprint of heat, and you can see the footprint of heat is fairly decent for the space. However, we're not heating up that whole 16-foot footprint of heat. I centered the heaters within the fan so it looked proper, but we could move the heater itself maybe a slight 12 inches over. Let's go ahead and look at that, and you can see that the footprint of heat would be okay, but still not heating up the whole entire space properly. But this is one option, just in case they're thinking about, what that would look like. And then let's go ahead and look at the second option. And the second option I would have would be 2 of the 25,000 BTU heaters in this configuration. So what we're doing here is we're maintaining that minimum of 12-inch clearance from this edge here to this edge here. I'm not sure if this is going to have a edge that comes out something like this. I'm going to go ahead and just do something very quickly here. It's not going to be accurate, but we'll do something like this. And let's just say that this is an edge here. We want to make sure that there is 12 inches of clearance over there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that off right now. And then the other point is that you can see that my brackets are still here on the heater improperly, but what you would need to do is maintain that clearance from this point here to the ceiling, and that clearance needs to be a minimum of 9 inches of clearance on an S25. And if it was pointed straight down on an S34, it would need to be 14 inches of clearance. So that's why I'm choosing the S25. Let's look at the height off the finished floor with regards to this particular mount, and you can see that we're just at 7'3" off the finished floor. The other one, I just want to put that distances back on here, and the other one was going to be 6'10" off the finished floor. The 25 that I had pointed straight down on this side over here, just so you have that reference. Let's go ahead and look. Oh, and by the way, so what you'd want to do is, whatever this distance is going to be, you'd want to take the brackets over here, bring them down. Whoops, let's see if we can do this. Sorry, sometimes my system moves very quickly. But yeah, you'd bring that down. That is 1 foot 2 inches. And so then you would cut this edge down here 1 foot 2 inches so that you can bring this particular bracket down, this section down. So let's just go over here, and I'm going to change this, and it's going to change everything. So I'm going to go back in just a minute. So that's 1 foot 2 inches, and you can see here that, whoops, maybe that is a little bit too far. 13 inches. There we go. There we go. So in any case, we want to get this approximately right here. There we go. You can see that this bracket over here now is changed with that one because they are the same components. But in any case, that would be how you would mount this on this edge here, and obviously this side here would be different as far as that's concerned. But I'm going to go ahead and just move all that back so that it looks a little bit better. But let's go ahead and now look at the footprint of heat. And you can see the footprint of heat with S25s pointed straight down would heat up the area fairly decent. Still missing this outer edge here. And also you can see that your upper torso or your upper body will be in that heat here, but maybe not as much of the intensity would be on your head or something of that nature. So this seating positions here, it might be better off if you were to, on those colder days, just simply move the seating positions in slightly, maybe 12 inches, something of that nature. And then you're in that ray a little bit better. But let me go ahead and put those back out there just so you can see what the true footprint of heat would be. And so that would be my recommendation here, if this was going to be my application. Also, if possible, moving all the units over would be something a little bit more beneficial. This is going to be roughly 24 inches, and you can see now we're covering a little bit more of the space on this side over here as well. So All right, well, I hope this has helped. If you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you'd like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. I'm Steve, and please tap that like button if you find this video useful. We don't advertise, not monetize. YouTube does not support us unless we receive a thumbs up from our viewers, and we also appreciate any comments or questions you might have, because that also helps our channel out and helps others with more information. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day.